Willie D Live.
It's Willie D, y'all, back with another episode of information and instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. In the studio,
oh yeah,
Billy Sorrells.
We here. We are here. And
What's up, King?
And I say we because I speak about myself and my multiplicity of personalities.
Oh, hell.
And bipolar dysfunctional self. we are here. What's up, man? You know what I mean? We are in the building. Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah, it's a whole lot of things up, man. What I want to know is
where we starting at? Let's run it.
Man, let's start with the morning hustle. What happened to that show, man? What happened with you on that show?
Man, let me tell you something. First of all, I want to say thank you, Kathy Hughes. Thank you to Ricky Smiley. Thank you to Tom Joyner. Thank you to all of my family over there at Radio 1, Urban One, for a tremendous opportunity of what it was. To give some brief backstory, I was on the Tom Joyner cruise performing, and I tore that shit down. Tom Joyner saw me on the cruise and was like, "Nigga, you ever thought about being in radio?" And we laughing, drinking tequila. If you know Tom Joyner, that's what he on. And he was like, "Man, there's some opportunities coming up." And I was like, "All right, bet." I gave him my information. I ended up getting an email. And then I didn't hear shit for about 6 months. I was in Atlanta doing a show at Uptown Comedy Corner. And one of the guys that's one of the producers that's at Hot in Atlanta was like, "Hey, you want to come in? It's a radio opportunity." And I'm like, "Well, I live somewhere else." He was like, "You might want to come in for this." Totally different meetup. I went in there, killed the audition. And then 2 weeks later, I get a call to come to D.C. They offered me the job. I started hosting on the show, and it was, really bringing some big shouts out to Head Crack. Man, one of the pioneers in morning radio and just a great dude all the way around. And he was the nucleus and the captain of the show. And I mean, if I were to synopsize it, Ange, L'Oreal, that's my family, bro. We went through a lot of shit, like a new show. We got hit with a lot of politics as well as the pandemic. That really changed the landscape where most shows can brand and build on who we were. We couldn't do that because we were too busy informing the country, talking to the CDC, trying to keep people informed. A national, international, global crisis. It's hard to keep people up, and then you got the nucleus of our people weren't going to work anymore, which is where that show got its bread and butter from. Now when we had all these big dreams of how we were going to keep our salaries and things that we were doing, they couldn't afford to do it with what was going on. And I mean, to be quite honest, radio is taking a big dive because that's a generational thing. Technology is offering so many platforms, much like this, where people can hear what they want to hear when they want to hear it. And then for me, with my dark cloud, went through my divorce, was in a very intense custody battle, and I was working remotely in Houston. And I had custody of my daughters at the time. And it was a choice of, they wanted me to come to Atlanta to come back into the studio. And I couldn't leave my girls. They didn't have no other option at the time. Their mom wasn't in the state. And, it was a hard decision for me, but an easy decision for me at the same time. Because, as men, when you a part of your family, as a father and as a captain, you're going to be the person to take the L's. And I didn't count it as an L. I counted it as my daughters needed me there. And I'll do that same decision 1,000 times over, choosing my family first, because God will always provide a way, and He has. So
now how did that work out though? Because typically the mother ends up with the kids.
Well, we went through court at the time. It was an ugly divorce, and we went through a lot of stuff. And the crazy part about it is, you'll hear me say this a lot of times throughout the day, is that you can't understand God's plan. And you wouldn't think today, with the tumultuous level of how our divorce went, that me and my ex-wife and her new fiance and my new fiance, we all co-parent together and sit and drink beer and talk and go places and do stuff together seamlessly.
How long did it take for y'all to get to that space? After the initial breakup, there's a lot of hard feelings. Each side thinks that their pain is greater than the others. How long did it take before y'all got to be civil toward each other again?
It wasn't a matter of how long. It was a matter of how God how he wanted to see it fit. Man, crazy. About 6 months into my divorce, I got diagnosed with a brain tumor in my brain. And, you know, I often look back at the story of Job, like, how can you lose everything at one time? My family, my career, friends, opportunity. And I'm thankful that God took me through that process, bro. Like, I was now facing death. This tumor scared the hell out of me. Cancer scared the hell out of me. But it put shit in perspective. It made me understand the most valuable thing on this earth, and that is time. 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 How much time do you really have that you think you have? It's not that.
Did you share your brain tumor experience on social media? Because I didn't even know you went through that.
Yeah, bro. It was one of those things that I decided into it, that this was a personal bout. This was not something where I'm a victim of. This is not woe is Billy. It's nah. This is what I'm going to do, what I'm going to deal with. And my inner family needed to know that. And this is where I tell people all the time, it's like everybody don't need to know everything. Like, I'm free to talk about it here because it's a relevant point to this, but ain't nobody going to go take my treatments or my medicine that I got to deal with. That's a personal walk. No matter which way it goes, guess who's in control of it? I had to really unlearn something that people have been saying for a long time. You'll hear people say this, oh man, you need to put that in God's hand. Probably the most blasphemous thing you can say. I'm gonna go and let God have it. Do you know how retarded you sound? How arrogant you are? Excuse me for saying the hard R with that, but how ridiculous you sound saying that. It's always been in his hand. So when you realize that your arrogance and your ego let you think that you had the controls of deciding what he gets and what he don't. No, he's always in control. It eased up understanding of how to prioritize and categorize the most important things in my life. And that was one understanding. Time is not on my side. So having quarrels and beefs with people, I then turned to, if I get out of here tomorrow, what my girl's gonna do? Immediately went through trying to get, like, you know, some policies in place and stuff straight. And it's hard because, you know, I got 4 baby mamas, so I'm on call trying to get them, you know, get everything straight, insurance. And I'm like, hey, you know, I got it set up. Each of y'all gonna get, you know, $500,000 in the event I get out of here per kid, you know what I'm saying? And, like, you know, talking to women, immediately my mama said, how much is it to get it up to $1 million? She ready to put the other half up on the money. Just how much to run it on up to that? I'm like,
said that?
These daughters' mama, they trying to get it to $1 million. I was like, you know, I gotta die for y'all to get this money.
Wow.
are you serious? And I laughed.
4 baby mamas?
4, now 5.
Good God. Mm-hmm. Lord have mercy. Let us pray.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
but nah, bro, like, real talk, like, man, listen, that was the thing that helped me understand all the stuff that we were bickering about going through. The court don't give a damn about you. Yeah, the court can help you, but they get paid to do that. Like, they get paid. You can't call your attorney and your judge on Saturday morning at 10:30 and say, hey, help me with my kids. They don't give a fuck. And we had to go back to, we made these kids, we made these decisions, we brought this marriage. We need to be able to amicably resolve the things that we have. And most importantly, like, we loved each other for a great period of time. And it's still love there. I believe in the multiverse of love, really. Like, if I ever loved you and it was real love, I still love you today. It don't change because we're not together. We not talking or communicating. It's still love. Male or female, no homo, no, you know, no pause. But, bro, if I loved you, and it was real, it's always that. No matter what decisions you got to make for yourself.
I can't fuck with you like that no more.
I mean, if that's the case, but then it's like, at the end of the day, it also comes a point with, if you lost that person, you can never see them again or never talk to them again because death is so finite. I've lost so many of my friends. In the last 2 years, I've lost 8 of my friends. I've gone through 3 managers. Gone. I shot a film that I was producing. My director died. Fell dead, bro. So Teddy Ray, R.I.P., man. You know, Fuquan Johnson, R.I.P., man. Boogie B comedian out of New Orleans, gone, R.I.P. Like, David Arnold, gone. Like these people that you put in your life, and it helped me really understand the finalization of how death really is and how we don't have as much time as we think we do. And the value system that we got is fucked up. So I put everything aside. I said, look, you can have whatever you need, whatever you want. Let's get these kids straight. And that solved my problems. And then when I did that, everything started turning around because I was giving myself peace. And I had to understand we got expectations on people that are irrational. How can you expect somebody to give you something that they don't have themselves? It's a lot of women out here that probably watch your podcast and or men who are just in a tough spot with their relationship because their partner not doing or giving them something. Well, ask yourself the question, do you give yourself everything that you want?
We're perfect people. That makes a lot of sense what you're saying because we're imperfect people looking for perfect people.
The crazy part is if you're an imperfect person, how can you expect perfection when you don't give yourself perfection? It's irrational. I got 100% of choice over my decisions, right? And I still don't do everything that I want to do for me. So how can I be mad that a person who got their own brain, their own thoughts, and their own ideas, and their own emotions and feelings isn't acquiescing what I want for me when it's my job to give that to myself? Like, you want a man to love you? Well, why you don't love yourself? But if he don't love himself, how can you expect him to love you on that level? See how easy it is to just let stuff go? People hold on to shit too long. Like, what you gonna get out of that? I'm getting out of that. The enemy only got the past, bro, that can throw at you and to hold on to. He don't got the future.
Oh, damn, bro.
Oh, you thought I was just here to talk about just...
Ooh.
Hey, he only can control your past, bro. The devil got a time machine. He can only take you back. He can't take you forward. Because if you really got, like, faith on a different level, bro, like, I'm one of them niggas that's like, oh, you've seen some of it, and you might not know some of it, and you're going to find it out today. No, I've been through some real shit, homie.
I know, man. I know. I saw this video. And look, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. I've been wanting to sit down and talk to you for a while.
Yeah.
And have a broad conversation with you about life. And I watched this video where you revealed multiple traumatic experiences in your life. And I was like, that made me actually pick up the phone and call you even faster. I was like, it just made me know that, okay, I was on the right track. Because I already knew. I like talking to interesting people. So I already knew that you had a story. I already knew you was an interesting person. I already knew all of that. But when you spoke to that, that made me it made me more compelled to give you a call because my goal with this show is always, just like with the music, is to provide information and instructions to help people navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. And I know your experiences can help some people. So I want to kind of like revisit that video, so to speak, and touch on some of the
Willie,
the topics that you
know me.
Yeah.
You know me. Let's go.
Yeah.
You ain't got to preface it no more. I got one condition though. Ready? I'm gonna put this here. This ain't a phone. It is a phone, but it ain't. This represents a card. One condition. Before we get out of here, we gotta flip this motherfucker over and get under this card. So let's go there. But we're just remember, before we get up from this table, what's under this card, we gonna flip it over and go to the motherfucker. It's like dominoes, nigga. It's one right here. Hey,
flip it over.
Just know we gonna flip that bitch over before we leave here. So let's go.
All right.
Where you want to start at in that video?
Billy Sorrells survived molestation. How?
8 years old, Chattanooga, Tennessee. My mom and dad were together then. And backstory on me. As a Sorrells man, as the head of my family lineage, as the patriarch of my family at now 40, but I inherited that position at 36, knowing my great-grandfather, my father, my grandfather, all of us, 4 generations, I was able to see my granddaddy get chastised by my great-granddaddy. I was able to see my daddy get chastised and raised by my granddaddy. I was able to get 3 generations ahead of me in my life. My great-grandfather didn't die till I was 11 years old. So 8 years old, my family is all coaches. My dad was a high school football coach. My grandfather, high school football coach, played in the Cotton Bowl and is an NCAA champion with that at Tennessee State. My dad went to Tennessee State. I went to the other TSU, Texas Southern University. But my great-grandfather, Candler Sorrells, 6th grade education, worked for the city of Chattanooga as a public health and human safety worker. He scooped up roadkill and got debris and stuff off the road. He was a milkman at 10. So I'm 8, living this life that's seemingly blissful, the Huxtables. I'm the oldest child of 3. My mom and dad, my mom got a great job. I'm going to a fine arts school, Chattanooga School for the Arts and Sciences. And one of my closest friends, his older sister, she was 16, bro. Sexually active, around, popular, cute. And she had access to me. She made sure when we got off the bus, we went to school. And because being black and a level of our I'm not gonna say the word toxic masculinity, just masculinity and where we're from, did not allow me to understand the volatile nature of those experiences. Yeah, I talked to people about it, but it was immediately washed off as, oh well, you know, it's a girl, that's what happens. But what I didn't understand was this was something that was going to be the key to understanding how to unlock the trauma that I was reliving constantly in relationship to relationship and situation to situation. She was aggressive with me sexually. I'm 8, bruh. I want to watch Ninja Turtles, fam. Like, I'm now having all my first sexual experiences with a 16-year-old sexually active girl. Like, bro.
How was she aggressive?
I mean, she would beat my ass. If I didn't want to let her suck my dick or play with her, she would call me gay. But this set up a trauma in my mind, and then she was overly affectionate and forceful, and it made me hypersexual, hyper-aggressive, you know what I'm saying, and hyper-violent in certain situations. And traumatically, we dismiss what we let our young boys see and experience and not understand why we have these problems that have been deep-seated from an early age. We moved to Texas. We in Texas about 1.5 years, and I wear my dad and my mom both on it. My dad passed away in 2017, and my mom is still with me. But at the age of 10, going before my 11th birthday, my mom left the house. And my parents divorced. So we in a strange place. I tucked all that away, dealt with that. And then my mom left, and my dad raised me and my sisters. Now, me and my mom got closer as I got out of school, and she was trying to be around, but, like, you know, I grew up different. You know what I'm saying?
Did you resent her?
For a while, but it was more of, I took it upon myself to achieve. I tucked away my pain and my issues, and I said, well, I'm going to overachieve because my get back is going to be, you going to see me, you going to see what you missed out on. And so the accolades that I achieved were just false walls of achievement for something that I was lacking internally. It's a lot of us that go get jobs, cars, houses. That shit don't mean nothing to you because you trying to be seen by somebody not dealing with that fucking trauma that you got on yourself. Now, I'm here to talk about that. So understanding at 35, 36, 37, when I start going to therapy, and I hadn't cracked that until I was 39, before my 40th birthday, to really understand, like, through therapy, that we had to go back to Lil Billy to go heal some stuff that happened to me that wasn't right, that was perpetuating and resurfacing every relationship with every woman that I dealt with, why I was emotionally unavailable, why I felt like, you know what I'm saying, women would never be satisfied. Well, I watched my mom leave my dad, and my daddy wasn't a bad dude, wasn't on drugs, a principal of a high school, a great guy in the community, went to church. And she left. So if my daddy, who's my superhero, can get left, and his daddy, watch this, two generations of men. My grandfather raised my dad from 5. So when I hear women or I hear people online talking about what men and what Foxx, I'm like, nah, bro, I don't know that. My daddy brushed hair like I did. Now when we go back to talking about when I had that decision about leaving to go on the radio, why it was nah, bro. I was groomed for this, to stand in that pocket. And I don't think we talk about these traumatic experiences enough as being traumatically gifted and black. Trauma gave us our gifts, Willie. Not training. We were trained traumatically through our life experiences to be the gifted people that we are, bro. White folks get to go off to fine art schools and they get to go and have other experiences. And now our generations are starting to have those opportunities. But for the most of us, for those first sets of generations that were really out here and that are gifted, it was trauma that gave us our gifts, that gave us our space to express, that pushed us to the levels that we've gotten to. So that molestation for me reared its head. I'm now a brother with good hair, good looks, good family, but I'm damaged inside, G. I'm an overachiever. I'm smart. I'm well-read. I was in martial arts, played every sport. I grew up, I know I was groomed in this space. I'm a second generation coach's son. They taught me everything from right here to right here. You name a game. Diamond, spades, pool, how to barbecue, how to pray. But it made me hyper-aggressive, hypersexual, hyper-violent.
Were you violent toward women?
I was violent towards anybody. Anybody that expressed to me a level of violence, you're going to get met with that back. And remind me that we need to come back to that part, because that's a whole separate dialogue. But get into this trauma that helped shape me. I started to understand now why I made certain decisions, why certain people got a different reaction out of me or a different experience with me. Hey, you can't yell at me, because to me, you gonna yell at me like this girl yelled at me, then turn around and tell me you love me, then turn around and do some shit to me weird. Yeah. Like, 8.
So somebody offend you at 30 years old, 35 years old, they're not really dealing with the 35, 30-year-old Billy. They're dealing with the 7-year-old Billy, the 9-year-old Billy.
Bro, they dealing with,
they're dealing with little Billy.
They dealing with little Billy, because guess what? Little Billy is the only boy. I had no brothers, Willie. I got 2 younger sisters, so I'm the next. I'm 3 generations of men looking at me like, nigga, it's on you. So they ain't play that. I boxed. I did karate. I competed in tournaments. Oh yeah, you want to talk shit? All right, they gonna punch you in your mouth. That's just what it is. I ain't finna argue with you. Like, you gonna whoop my ass, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and that's it. But it ain't finna be. And if you live like that, and I lived in some places, and I went to Sterling High School. I lived in South Park. I was on the inside of town, bro, going to school. Thomas Middle School, right there on Selinsky, right there between Martindale, bro. Crystal Springs, VA, Foxwood Apartments. Bro, like, I lived the Boys and Girls Club. That was it. I got partners in Dead End. I left there, 9th grade, going to 10th grade, went to Hightower in Missouri City to get in the TV program. And that is what really opened me up. So if you want to talk about an origin story of this dude, like, I went to Windsor Village, bro. Kirby John was my pastor, gave me confirmation. Crazy part is now this man is in prison. Like, I'm from that time of Houston. My mama, when she left my daddy, moved to Hiram Clark, 4623 Brownstone. So when I wasn't in South Park or Mo City, I'm in the Clark. So when you see me, you understand that I'm experiencing all this at one time. These ain't the easiest places to be at. I look like this. I'm a Kappa. I'm well educated, but I also got partners that so dope, and I so dope, and I did shit too.
How did you get into pimping?
Crazy part is, year was 2007. I was working doing touring with R. Kelly. People don't know this. This is why, like, I tell people all the time, look at the numbers. Look at the statistics. Look at the ticket sales. Know your audience. Know your clientele. Like, pimping, swinging relationships, orgies, money, dancers, adult entertainment, hotel spinning, rental cars. Everybody made money from R. Kelly. It wasn't just them ticket airlines. Bad bitches was coming from everywhere. Niggas was spending money. Dope boys was like, that was where we spent money at. I watched it. It's no coincidence that Jay-Z teamed up with this nigga and went on a tour and did 2 albums with this nigga. Oh, my bad. I need to take this drink. Cause 07, working with a guy. It started out real simple. Hey, man, go pick him up and drop him off from the airport. And any city, any town, you understand the dynamics of a person that has influence with money and persuasion. This turned to, I got my first girl that I had, porn star, Million Blue, that shit crazy. Then I went from that to adding 2 more sets of toes on there. Now, these women are my responsibility. And it wasn't about, bitch, give me some money. It was about, hey, I'm smart. I know how to make money. I know how to move money. I know how to make you more accessible and available, helping people set up stuff like, hey, small shell companies where you can file your taxes, babe.
So did you see yourself more as a manager?
I mean, if you really want to look at what being a P is, it is management. Time management, emotional management. You a therapist, you a counselor. But I had been groomed for this. I was already emotionally detached from childhood. So 8-year-old Billy was the perfect candidate that had been manifested at now 22 to have a mouthpiece, to know how to maneuver, and also to have that emotional side to be soft enough to say, hey, come on, let's get up, let's go. We got a shit to do. 2 years of my life, bro. And I don't like that guy. Not because I was violent, I had to beat none of the girls I had. Yeah, they got their ass cussed out. But looking back as a father of 4 daughters, my nigga, I didn't force them women to do anything, but you know what I realized? Elevated accountability was, hey, it wasn't even about forcing. It's manipulation by even allowing a person to do that to themselves, knowing how destructive that shit is. It's destructive, bro. I'm complicit. I wouldn't want that for my children. These are somebody else's daughters. These are somebody else's sisters. And although they made their choices and made their money, there's a level of dual accountability in that.
What made you stop?
I could not look at myself as somebody that my grandfather and great-grandfather and my parents would be proud of.
Was there a particular incident, though?
Nah, bro. It wasn't a particular incident. I didn't like myself. I had money. I had a relationship. But I felt it to be very on levels of being a sociopath for me to love a woman and be in a relationship and have a woman that I value and care about, but at the same token to have women that I allow to devalue and disrespect themselves. Like, how can I have that dual mindset? Biblically, it says it. You can't be a dual-minded person and serve God, bro. You can't be.
Did you have any daughters at that time?
No kids.
You had no kids at all?
No. And for good reason. Also for good reason why I was so blessed and fortunate to get 4 daughters.
You don't have any boys?
I got 2 boys now. But the stuff that I wanted out of life, until I learned those lessons, until I started understanding about giving myself the peace and following in the proper protocol, God wasn't gonna give me all the stuff that I needed. My sons would be corrupt because my head would still be fucked up thinking that my boys gotta be these player ass, do a woman any type of way ass niggas. That shit ain't cool. That shit is not fucking cool, bro. But Oh, you gonna be a little player. No, nigga, don't be. Bro, you finna be damaged, fam. You finna repeat this fucking cycle, my nigga. Love the fuck out of a woman. Love yourself first. And love yourself enough to know when it's time to leave a situation. That's okay too. To be traumatically gifted, bro, we get these great loving relationships, not realizing, dog, that like the fundamental first key word is love. Do you love yourself enough to know it's okay to walk away? Do you love yourself enough to not have to see the train run into the goddamn car? You got to wait for it to go bad? You don't love yourself enough to say, hey, you know what? This is enough. I don't think this is it. It's these things that I experienced and had to learn before I was able to get the things that I really wanted out of my life. I didn't have peace then, Willie.
At what point did you start dealing dope?
Bro, 19, Greystone, TSU.
So that came before the pimping.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you find out a way, and that was the easy way for me to make more money. The nigga that's gonna spend money on a woman is also gonna spend money on dope.
But how did you stop? Because typically when dudes start selling dope, they do it out of desperation. They need money. And once you start getting that fast money, it's very, very difficult to stop.
You know, the funniest part about it was I don't got that. I went to projects. I'm selling crack. I never sold crack. I never did that. That wasn't my thing. I ain't cooking up rocks for the neighborhood, nigga. That's not my story. I wouldn't duck behind. I was a college student. I had girls who wanted weed, niggas that wanted drink, a few white bitches at U of H that wanted coke, and then the other black chicks that didn't want nobody else to know that they did that and they partied like that. And the person who put that in my hand and started me on that pathway was a person who was already peeing. So, like, oh, you got girls around you here. You got this, I got you. I'm a college student, bro. But my stupid ass at the time, let me give you some backstory. My internship for college, like coming out of high school and in college, was with World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. In 2001, my senior year, I was the youngest person to be accepted into the New Talent Development Fellowship with ABC and their Producers Fellowship. 17. Oldest age of the person in that class of 15 of us was 48. Nobody under the age of 27. 17. I went to Hightower. Our school, my instructor out there, Ted Irvin, was phenomenal. So I was able to fuel that empty space that I had and the passion that I had in television production. I learned how to edit. I learned how to produce content. I started learning the aesthetics of music video production. I got 2 awards for international music video production and also television production from the Telly Awards. Like, that set me on my way. At the age of 16, I got a job working for BET with Teen Summit. I was a teen correspondent with them. BET was coming to the school. You think I wasn't getting pussy then? Stupid ass. I got caught fucking in school and got sent to alternative school at Hightower. Remember, same 8-year-old Billy, same nigga that's hypersexual, same nigga that's hyper aggressive, same nigga that's hyper. Come on, bro. The need to continually validate.
You think that's what happened to R. Kelly? Because, you know, R. Kelly was molested as a kid.
Yeah. I mean, at a certain point, it should be a lot more people sitting in jail right now. See, when, you know, it's crazy. When they hit the RICO charge on niggas, they want to get everybody at the money touch, but they always stop it. They don't ever go up to the record label. No, some niggas should be, if Young Thug in jail, let's go get everybody on the board, whoever label he signed to. All them niggas, all them white men should be in jail too. Because they benefited from this money that was being done illegally. You see what I'm saying? But they cap it somewhere. Airlines, take the money back. Put it into a fund. Hotels, everywhere that R. Kelly stayed at should be listed. Where was he doing this shit with all these women at? All these places. The car services. There should be a long list of people who should owe retribution. But we, not just black people, but just people, we get so fixated on finding the Freddy Krueger in a nightmare, we don't realize that, nigga, we are living in a nightmare, perpetuating itself. Specifically us as black people, we check out of that part. We nail our own people to the cross, and we've yet to even fully understood that this was a part of the process the entire time. No, I'm not telling you that you don't have personal accountability, but I'm telling you that we don't see it. We skip that shit. So yeah, R. Kelly had some shit fucked up happen to him. He had a choice to get out of it. He didn't choose that. Unfortunately. So, like, bro, I got kicked out of college. That's how I found comedy. I was in school, good grades. They had a grade change. My homeboy was working in the registrar's office. He said, hey, bro, you want to get some extra money back? Bro, this dude changed my C's to B's and my B's to A's. I went from a 3.2. 3.2 ain't bad. 3.2 GPA to a 3.88. Now I'm on the dean's list. I get $29,000 a
You
cash.
saying he changed it or you earned it?
No,
He just changed
okay. My good grades to better grades.
Right.
BET had a whole story on this shit. TSU. All right, nigga, we was...
You didn't feel guilty at any point?
Nigga, I did. My daddy called me. Hey, man, they got some grade change shit going on at the school. What you know something about that? Nah, I don't know nothing about that, man. I don't know nothing about that. Got kicked out of school, bruh.
All right, so we've reached our nigga quote.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was hoping you catch it on your own, but
we at capacity with niggas.
ahead.
I'm sorry. We done. You know, like that's funny, dog. Like it's hilarious, dog. But you know, I respect that. You know.
Well, you know what? Why is it that I got a lot of comedian friends, and I'm trying to think, who do I know? Well, I only know Jada Lay is the only one that I know that don't constantly use the N-word. But why is it that we use that word so often? Like, and I be like bumping heads with everybody. All of the comedians I know, y'all are good. Like all of y'all, y'all use that word like. It's like y'all use that word like a conjunction. Like,
it's funny. My dad, bro, he would go and watch my shows that we would record, and he would go through them. Yeah, man, you got way too many. You got way too many N-words in your show, man. 42 times, bro. Come on now.
Your daddy.
You said MF
and counted it.
Man, he watched my. It's 30 minutes. 42 times. That's 2 times a minute, man. Come on now. I'm trying to get you to the big money, man. You can't do that. You're gonna be too raw. You out here, you just Def Jam all the time. And the funny part about it was I end up working with Russell Simmons. So it's like it helped him start All Def Digital, a whole nother platform, bro. Like that's why I tell you I've been fortunate to learn so much. Like I'm thankful. Like I was watching a quote that T.D. Jakes said, and he was talking about the people who are crushed, and he stayed on this word a lot, and he said God crushes those the most who he's going to elevate the most. And it kind of helped me remind myself about the things that we experience. They're not happening to you, they're happening for you. See, to me is victimized. I'm a victim of my circumstance. For you is for my benefit. I mean, a fool learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. But there's always got to be that first person to step out there and say, hey, this is the mistake. Watch out for it. I'm thankful that I'm allowed to be the person who made those mistakes. You can go back to hip hop. Hov did that. Hopefully you don't have to go through that. The bars, the lyric, like it all makes more sense when you get older. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't look at it. I don't claim that as a victim. I claim that as this is my life. This is my experiences. Born December 1st. Me and Richard Pryor got the same birthday. Parallels of experience now looking back at it, it's just so like definite. That's why of the people that are on my arm and I'm tatted, I got Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, and a Joker.
Man, you know what's crazy is that it's the first time I really looked at you and thought you could probably play Richard Pryor. Mike Epps is the only one I've ever thought about playing that role because I seen him do Richard Pryor, and he does a hell of an imitation of Richard Pryor.
He's dope. Marlon Wayans
Have you ever done it?
Man,
Have you ever done a Richard Pryor impersonation?
What's crazy is like a big part of my first set of acts was doing impersonations. But with Pryor, watching Eddie Murphy do him, I live by the motto of once a person submits an impersonation, everybody else is just doing an impersonation of the impersonation that person did. You understand? And an embodiment of Mr. Pryor, bro, is it's weird. His son Mason Pryor ended up being one of my close friends, like just through happen chance. We bumped into each other in L.A. and me and bro, that's fam, that's bro. I was like, hey man, I got pops on my arm, and we laugh. You know what I'm saying? And like the things that I wanted, the things that I asked for, the things that I asked for in quiet have all been given to me in public at the appropriate time. Now, at 40, I look at my words are powerful. So if I stay in a victim mindset, I will stay a victim. If I stay in a victorious mindset, who's the victor? Remember, he only got the past. He can't control the future. You can go to the end of the Bible and hear how it ends. And if you believe that, then what is it? Look at the scoreboard. My daddy used to tell me that all the time. Look at the scoreboard. When you playing, son, look at the clock. Look at the scoreboard. It's up there for a reason. Keep yourself on track. If you ahead, stay up. Don't blow the lead.
And what's the score in your life right now? What's the score in Billy Sorrells' life?
I'm up.
Yeah.
I've been up. Even when I thought I was down, I was up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the stands, not the scoreboard. We look into the stands all the time. You see kids when you in Little League, I'm playing football. I started playing Little League football at 6, bro. My daddy and granddaddy, great-granddaddy on the sideline. I'm playing halfback. They pitch me the ball. I get all the wind knocked out of me, and I'm on the side. I'm on the ground. Can't breathe, nothing. They ain't had no real protectors for us as kids. All this gone. I'm on the ground crying. Nobody runs. I'm 6. Nobody comes out there. My daddy and granddaddy on the sideline. Get your ass up. Get your ass up and play the game. And I looked in the stands. I heard the hit, and it made me realize, hey, man, ain't nobody coming to save you. Like, bro, like Willie, crazy story. My daddy and my granddaddy coached against each other in high school football, bro. Need you to understand this. There's rivalry. There's competition. But my grandfather coached at Brainerd High School in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Look this up. My dad coached at Howard High School. These are the two top black schools. If we were equating it to something that would be local, it would be like Madison and Yates. It's a classic game. Worthing and Sterling, classic game.
Forsberg and Smiley.
There it is, even though they on the same street. Classic game. So I remember this. Bro, I'm 7. They coaching against each other. I went to the game. First half of the game, I'm on my daddy's side. My granddaddy kicks the ball off to my daddy and immediately takes possession of the ball. They start losing. We 10 minutes into the first quarter. I'm like, you know what? Let me go over here and go see my granddaddy. I walk on the other side. He on his clipboard. Hey, get it to your daddy. He wrote a note and gave it to me. I get the note, run all the way to the other side. He has the next series of plays written down. And on the note at the bottom, he wrote in bold letters, "Stop it." And he looks across the field, and my granddaddy, "Stop it. That's what I'm running. Stop it." Do you understand? There was no guesswork. My granddaddy did that for 4 series. I'm talking about the band playing touchdown after touchdown. You whooping your son's team. And he keep yelling every touchdown, "Stop it." I go back over there. My daddy said, "Hey, man, stop giving me paper from me." "Hey, man, get out of my face, man. Go on back over there with your granddaddy if you want to sit on that side." My granddaddy motioned for me again. He writing down in this plate, "Hey, man, this was going on. Your daddy's secondary is trash. Number 28, need to get him out the game. His hip's bad. That's why we keep burning him over there. I'm throwing at 28. And, bruh, I watched that happen all through the game. Stop it. Couldn't stop it. But I was watching a lesson happen. He was teaching him, even in the midst. It was never a competition. He said, I remember that we went to Ryan's after that game. Big game. My dad lost. Score ended up being like 35-17. We at Ryan's and my dad was sitting there, kind of had his head down. He said, hold your head up, man. You did what you could do. He said, remember, son, I taught you everything you know, not everything I know. And that stuck with me. It stuck with me. It's some stuff that I hope I don't have to teach my kids. It's some stuff I hope my kids don't have to hear how to get out of. It's some stuff I hope they learn the lesson from me and my experiences. It's some people who watching this, I hope they get something from it and say, damn, I'm learning. Like, beyond being flawed, beyond being a comedian, it's like, bro, I hope that my life is something that people can learn from. See, I understood and I started trying to like gather things about what my purpose is. Your purpose is how your gift helps other people. Your gift is what you were born with, what you come with. That's for you. I can talk to people. I can engage people. I can entertain. I can act. I can do these things. Purpose is how that helps other people. You understand? Like, the accolades of success aren't mine. That's why I'm here. So now I'm not a victim. It happened for me to do this, not to me. It was for my benefit. It was for my purpose. It was for my gift. I was traumatically gifted and trained. My life trauma trained me for this moment.
Do you remember your first joke?
First joke.
First professional joke.
First professional joke was imitating my grandfather. And I was making fun of him because my grandfather was one of these dudes that he would say all type of stuff crazy, then say, think about it afterwards, and it sounded like it was brilliant. And he was like, hey, man, when life gives you lemons, well, you better have some vodka close by because lemonade ain't going to do a goddamn thing. I'm like, what? Hey, if you want to fuck your neighbor, you better go outside. I'm like, what? Like, I remember, man, like, I learned so much.
Man, your granddaddy sound like a hell of a dude. He sound like he was a hell of a dude.
Man, my grandfather is actually what helped me get a lot of opportunities, bro, because, like, I would be with my granddaddy. Like, my granddaddy would come, like, I got in trouble in the 3rd grade. Teacher's like, I'm going to call you daddy. I'm like, my daddy at work. He ain't finna come over here. He at Howard. He ain't be able to get out of school. He a coach in the place. We got football practice. He's not coming. My mama ain't getting off to work till 5. We already know these things. I think I got stuff figured out. I ain't realized that granddaddy name is on the contact sheet. She goes to the office, call my granddaddy. My granddaddy, I see him walking down the hallway. He comes into the classroom, like, cause I'm outside. I think I put out of class at this point, 3rd grade. I said, oh, hey, granddaddy. He said, hey, boy, I got some for you. I said, oh, you do? Walked me inside to the teacher. We won't do this no more. Don't worry about it. I got a cake for you, buddy. I got a cake to bake for you. I'm excited because I think it's the cake at home. We ride home. We in the car. I'm looking out the window. I got a smile. He said, oh, you think it's funny, huh? You think it's real funny? I was like, no, what's wrong? I don't know what you're upset about. Got to the house. I said, so Granny, where the cake at that you had for me? Oh, I got the cake. Beat the hell out of me. He was there, bro. Like, I watched that.
Did he wear those big wide belts with the metal holes in it?
My granddaddy had the coaching shorts that had the 2 buttons that snapped that was up here.
Uh-huh.
He had coaching stuff on, bro. And when he would wear his suits, he had his little church suits. He was a deacon. And I mean, you know, like, bro, like, I'm thankful for my experiences. Like, my granddaddy did not play, bro. He just did not play. Like, we went to church. Like, he cussed me and my cousin out when we was down there in the summertime. I think it was like 11, almost going on 12 at this point. We went to the pool. We got out the pool. We got our lotion. You know what I'm saying? We going to the skating rink because that's where the girls at. I'm looking at the Jet Beauty of the Week. That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? Flip through the Jet magazine. You know, people would keep the Jet magazines all stacked up on top of the toilet. You know, you got something to read. Well, my cousin, he goes through the Jets. He opens all of them up to the Beauty of the Week. And he looking at, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one. We leave out of there. All my granddaddy see is baby oil, lotion, and all the Jet magazines spread out across the bathroom. We come out the skating ring. We in the car. He done snapped on us in the goddamn car. Hey, man. Hey, first of all, we eat in a mirror of a mirror. If you ain't never had a cussing out in a rear view mirror of a car, that's the most traumatic experience because all you can see is this part of their face. Hey, man, I raised y'all to be good Christian men. Y'all ain't gonna be raping yourself in my goddamn house, man. Y'all ain't gonna be raping yourself. I raised y'all to be good men. Y'all ain't here raping y'all goddamn self. The devil is busy in your life. Both of you gay. You little slick-head bastard. You and your cousin, both y'all gay. I said, I'm not gay. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you is. You're raping yourself. It's a man's hand. If you're jacking off, it's a man's hand. You're gay. I said, what? See, that's how the devil get your mind all thrown off. You're jacking your dick. It's a man's hand. Nigga, I traumatized. Same dude at 6, bruh, taught me I had to learn how to pee-pee, bro. I'm at church, fam. Church going on. My granddaddy a deacon. I'm in there peeing. It's Easter Sunday. I got my Easter suit. But it's shorts and a little blazer top. I got my little bow tie on. I'm peeing. I done put my shorts all the way down because I don't want to get pee-pee on myself. So I'm peeing. And you know, this back when they had them things that looked like bathtubs that was the urinal. You could just pee all the way down it. So I'm peeing, just spraying back and forth. Pants down. My granddaddy come in there. He said, hey, man. Hey, man, what you do? Hey, man, hey. Your back door open, somebody gonna put their thumb in your asshole. Hey, man, your back door open, man. Put them up, man. You advertising your asshole. You a pedophile dream in here. He done walked out of church. Went and got my daddy. My daddy said, your son in here, he advertising his asshole. Somebody could put their thumb in his ass and flip his oil, change his oil, and flip his switch. Then we doomed. I was like, man.
Oh, man.
Bruh, my granddaddy, like, that's what helped me get my opportunity with In Living Color. And they were doing a Living Color reboot in 2011. I made it through all the castings, all the way down to the final part. Made the show 3 different times. Did a showcase. That's how I first met Marlon Wayans. That's how I met Keenan Ivory Wayans. That's how I first was seen by Jamie Foxx. My uncle Guy Black, he worked for a big head in radio. This is where I learned these things from. Traumatically trained. My dad's good friend was on a radio station in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Shout out to everybody that's there at Power 94 WJTT, Keith Landecker, Miss Magic, shout out to y'all. But Guy Black had a morning show. He would do prank calls, he would do voices, and then he would come over to our house on the weekends and just answer our phone as different people. And I enjoyed seeing how he lit places up. Well, he ends up getting a job working for Jamie Foxx and the Foxhole, producing his stuff.
That's where you did that Skits and Bits.
There you go. So Skits and Bits was really just me doing, you know what I'm saying, what I would do on a regular basis, clowning. I was doing my prank calls on YouTube. I sent it to him. He sends it to Foxx. Foxx is like, oh, yo, bro, it's dope. And then I got the call from doing my skits on my page to come audition for A Living Color. Now, I did a character, Peaches, which went viral. 12 million views online. 500, almost now 700 parodies of this video. And it changed and formatted what social media content looked like. I was a part of Google's Black Content Creators Corps. And this opened me up for a lot of opportunities. I wouldn't have been able to even do the video without Lena Waithe. Lena Waithe, phenomenal talent. Started out working at Disney, writing, doing stuff. We met at a alumni brunch, and she was like, Billy, I got some ideas for stuff you need to do with your page on your YouTube. I'm going to send them to you. She sent me the ideas. We talked about them. I created Peaches based off of baby mamas, sisters, and women that I knew. And she sent it out to people in the industry, and the shit fucking went viral. They saw this, the casting director for In Living Color. At the time, Amber Bickham became one of my, good friends. Foxx ended up coming to my showcase. Keenan came to my showcase. Marlon was at my showcase. And I was just destructive. The bit that tore the room up wasn't just Peaches, it was my granddaddy.
Now break that character down, Peaches, because I'm not familiar with that character.
I mean, Peaches represents what I had experienced with dealing with women to a degree, and it was parodied. It was parodied off of the traumatic experience that I was
seeing. Is Peaches a dude or a chick?
Peaches is a girl.
So you was in drag?
Bro,
you was dressed in drag?
Dressed on it. I was one of them niggas that wore the dress. I put it on. Niggas talking about, you sold your soul. No, nigga. I bought it back. If everybody said I sold it, I got it back. But it wasn't for that I did that. It was for, me doing this character was something that it hit women a different way. It was funny though, because it was at a space where I had to make a pivotal decision. I did not want to be just known as a person that did this female character. The character was getting so big because women were tying into it. Women share your content more than anybody else. Women put your name out there more. 80% to 85% is all women in comedy shows and concerts. They're the spenders, or they predicate who and what the money is spent on. And, you know, at that time, niggas was, oh man, you destroying the black community, nigga. You know, doing this character was the work. But, you know, my grandfather and this showcase, I leaned into my grandfather and listened to Peaches, and I got through the showcase.
Which your grandfather had approved of that character?
Let me tell you something. My grandfather didn't approve of none of the comedy shit. He told me to change my name.
Willie wants you to change your name.
Hey man, call yourself something else. Don't ruin my damn name.
Sorrells.
Hey man, take all that off, man. Put Bobo the Fool or one of them things up there, man.
Your grandfather's deceased.
Grandfather's deceased.
Man, I wish I would have met that dude. That sound like a dude.
Calvin Sorrells.
That sound like a dude I could kick it with forever.
Listen, he taught me about the blues, and it's so much that I didn't get a chance to speak to him about. Now, he and my dad both were remarried, and they died with their second wives. But he went through what I experienced. I just didn't know that. I didn't realize it. Like, looking back at it, it was like, damn. As much as I wanted to talk to my dad, but my daddy didn't have nobody but my mama he had kids with. My daddy didn't have to be separated from us. My daddy didn't go. My grandfather knew, like, looking at his life, the girls went with my grandmother. My grandmother was a dean of women at Bethune-Cookman College, Rosalind Page. Like, my family is all educators. My grandfather's second wife, principal. All of my dad's sisters are doctors in education. Like, they're principals and administrators. All three of his sisters. All of them in education. Whole family education. And I'm the nigga who's in college who decides I want to be, that was my last N-bomb, who decides he wants to be in comedy. And it wasn't until I started doing, I did Howard University and I did Spelman Homecoming, that my grandfather, before he died in 2011, he was like, say, man, I heard good stuff about you, man. I heard some people saw you up there at that show. And he saw, my father had sent him to write up that the Howard newspaper and the Spelman newspaper articles and sent to him. And he read them. And, you know, Sorrells shines in the bright lights. And he was like, man, shine in that bright light. Shine in it. He said, I just wanted to make sure you were sure this is what you want to do. You got to go at it all the way. He said, be up there like Jay Leno. I watch Jay Leno. I watch Johnny Carson before I go. I like Steve Harvey. He said, get big like that. And to get that, to earn that, I didn't get that right away. It took me almost 5 years to get that respect out of my grandfather wouldn't talk to me about it. And whenever I would get on the phone, still being a clown, huh? Yeah, you one of them old jokers got the thing on your head with the bells on, huh? You juggling too? You want some juggling balls? Hey, get him some juggling balls, man. That's what he need. He needs something to juggle. Do you want a pie in your face? I just seen you bozo with the nose. You homie the clown, huh? Homie don't play that. I'm like, man,
I can listen to you, like, I can listen to you impersonate your granddaddy all day long.
And my grandmother would be right there, Calvin, come on now. He ain't doing that, boy. Ain't doing that. He ain't doing that.
You gotta do something with that character, bro.
His name is, you
gotta make that a character. You gotta do something.
So what
and put your grandmother in there too, because that's a dope contrast,
bro. Let me so backstory. On my YouTube page, that's what really helped build it. It was built from that place. The character I ended up turning into Willie Sims.
Okay.
And that character, I did that in that showcase. I did Cornel West. I did Denzel in my showcase. And this is, 2011, you know what I'm saying, going into 2012. And, Foxx ended up seeing me in that showcase and gave me a job working at Foxhole. I got the Skits and Bits job. Then I toured with Jamie Foxx. So you talking about an XP, college graduate, tour with R. Kelly for 40 dates. I did behind the scenes work and video. Like, I was a video dude. So, like, on tour with R. Kelly on a double up tour, how I even got close to R. Kelly to being around in that environment was Jay Holiday shout out to my boy Lump. I was on tour with them, working with Jay Holiday, doing all his behind the scenes and video stuff on the road. And that's how I fell into all the other stuff I got into. So it's like now, touring with Jamie Foxx, well, I've been on tour, so I know what I'm staying away from. I know what my focal points are. The trauma that I experienced being in the shit that I should have been in led me to understand those same rooms that I was touring with in those same arenas. Now I'm touring it with Foxx, and I'm like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be done. This is what I'm supposed to do. And, you know, like, I got more pictures with Jamie Foxx and videos and stuff like that, but I haven't posted anything about him with his illness and what's been going on. I just, you know, quietly and silently offered my prayers, you know, and I know that it's in God's hand at this point.
Shouts out to Jamie.
Shouts out to that. I mean, one of the most incredible guys that I've encountered, and he taught me the ropes in Hollywood, bro. Like, straight up. Like, I learned how to be shrewd. I learned what it was to carry myself a certain way. I was always cool from the Mo and from the H, but learning how to maneuver and how to do things and how to go about things, learning how to, you know, I'm a part of the Screen Actors Guild. I am an actor. I got over 20 movies and TV shows that I've been a part of. Like, I know how to produce. I know how it is to be and what it is to be a professional on set. Like, I'm here for a job. I ain't here to fuck with you. Niggas that go to work at acting or on TV projects and then feel like that's the time to ambush a woman. Nah, nigga, I'm trying to get away from that. I'm trying to focus on what's going to elevate me. That's what kept me. You know, I got married in L.A., bro. Like, I got settled down because I was locked in on that.
Let's go back to something you said earlier.
Yeah.
You talked about having come from a good family and having good hair. And what is good hair?
You know, that's that mantra that people think that you a certain way just by your outer posterior. I used that to personify where I felt a need to validate my aggression, my masculinity, because, of course, that time, granddaddy, hey, man, cut all that greasy kid stuff out your hair, man. You just get a regular, low, even, sharp cut, man. Be clean.
Who said that?
Grandfather. Yeah. It raised you to be a sissy, man.
I didn't recognize the voice because you didn't do it in his voice.
hey, you know, hey, man, cut all that stuff out your head, man. You got all this stuff on your head, the greasy, it's a Jerry curl. You tripping. All that smooth. You're going to be a sissy, man. We don't want all that. Your son, you know what you like to do. So, you know, like, you know, that good hair, that when we look a certain way, I dressed a certain way. You know, I wasn't a class clown, Willie. Like, I didn't come up from that. I don't got that story. I was getting put out of class for that wasn't it. It just wasn't. My journalism track.
What made you want to get into comedy, though?
You know, it's a person that I gotta say, who had and still has a major impact in my life. Ali Siddiq, man.
Shouts out to Ali, for sure.
You know what's crazy? It was like we was the odd set of people, the odd arrangement to come up and learn from. And that brother, like, he fought with me, stood by me, worked with me, pushed me. And, you know, Ali performed at my father's funeral. Ali knew my daddy, granddaddy. He knew my family, knew me. You know what I'm saying? I'm in school at TSU from the time I was 18. When I started doing comedy at 19, Ali was right there. My first show, Roxy, Wednesday nights. Shout out to Harvey Harper, DJ High C, GT Man in the building. And I was performing there at Roxy. Shout out to Quay. Quay was there too. And, you know, I had seen Ali on campus. I've been watching. Like, for me, my dad and our bonding time, we would watch funny stuff. So we always watched comedies in the house because my daddy was always sad about being divorced. Like, you know, he that's what he did. We laughed. So the times that I could hear cussing was with Def Jam and Pryor. And, you know, he had an immense collection. So I was familiar with it. This night in particular, Wednesday night, amateur night, I was like, hey, I was kicked out of school. Nobody knew this. My friends had got me drunk on those 75-cent drinks. And it was like, hey, Bill, I'll go up there and do comedy. Hell yeah. I'm drunk. I'm going up there. I'm smoking. I'm feeling good.
They had a 75-cent drink at Roxy.
This was 2003.
I remember
75 cents. They had the buffet. That's when they had the buffet.
$75 drinks.
75-cent drinks, man. They had a lavish buffet. I got up there and drunk, roasted a girl in the audience, talked about eating pussy, and then Ali, I'm getting laughs. I'm humping a chair. Ali just sitting at the side of the stage like this. You're despicable. This is terrible. This is buffoonery. You think you did something up here. I'm drunk. I said, I killed it. He said, no, you're killing yourself. You're killing your legacy. This is trash. People high-fiving me. Yeah, look at all these stupid trash. It's nothing but garbage. You don't even know what you did. You a fool. And at that moment, he was like, come to my office. Key players, they had an office right there across from Roxy on Richmond. I'm thinking it's gonna be I think I'm getting some contracts or paperwork about I'm a comedian now. So I think it's some signing go. This is how much I don't know about comedy. So I come in there, I got a little blazer on, I got my slacks, I got a cool little shirt. I walk in, it's 9 o'clock. I'm ready for a meeting, you know what I'm saying? I got my shades on.
Y'all up at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Bro, the thing about Ali had been up since, 5. He had prayer. He Muslim. So he had prayer. He been up. So he has me come there at 9. He's sitting there. Come in. Yeah. Say something funny. And I was like, man, I thought we was mean about not funny. Get out. Come back in and say something funny. He did this to me for 30 minutes. I keep coming in. Now I'm just trying to just say anything. Yeah. Not funny. You're horrible. Your father should be upset. You're destroying an image. Go back to college. Oh, I forgot you kicked out. So let's see what you got. Nothing. See, a comedian has something to say at all times. What do you feel right now? I said, I feel like I want to go home. He said, you should. You should have never got on the stage. You had women all in your face.
Damn, Ali.
And so, the Ali, not playing at all. And so, yeah, you want to see real comedy? Come on over here with me, man. We got this room. We finna be working stuff out. And I'm driving to Shreveport this weekend. You can ride and see what real comics do. So I started out driving, riding with Ali, going to all these shows. And, I started getting funny. And Ali would always come to me. Hey, yeah, that joke you did, it's already been done. Somebody already said that. Write something else. I said, what are you talking about? I ain't seen this joke, but Ali, his brain and how he sees things, he's like, nah, you're not talking about you. I want to hear about you. And I always pointed back to me. And it was like at a point, it was like a joy kill. Because it was like, I got some laughs, I did good. Nah, you didn't say nothing to them people. Them people, they wasted their money watching you tonight. And so I didn't understand. But I grew to understand. And we would argue. And I would hit my head, and then I got it. Hey, all that music you playing, you wanna do music or you wanna do comedy? You don't need no music cues, just a microphone. That's all they put it up there. And I started understanding later from dealing with that with Terry and with Marcus Wiley, Keir Spates, nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, him and Keir Jr. Dave Lawson, my boy Rodney Big, shout out to Blaine the comic, Keisha Hunt, these people, Des White, bruh, I was able to come up and see them and see this, and the elite set of skills that they had. Shout out Al Freeman. It just pushed me. Ali pushed me, and it helped me when I was on that stage in front of Jamie and Marlon, and Keenan comes up to me and is like, nigga, where you been? It's like, I've been in Houston. He said, who you been working with? Ali. That's all I know. I don't know nobody. I don't know these people. And immediately, those times paid off. Bro, I remember one day, Ali pulled up on me. I'm over there right by where the Reggae Hood is. We had the Candy Lady. Shout out to Marcus D. Wiley. Marcus D. Wiley, man, another guy that's been in my life. Mm-hmm. One of my professors from school.
Yeah, Marcus the homie.
Shout out to Keelan Farouk, man. We over there at the Comedy Club, which is the Candy Lady. Ali, hey, man, hey, meet me in the back. Hurry up. I got somebody. He hung the phone up. I go in the back. Ali pull up in his truck. He got blood all on his shirt. He's like, yeah, come to the back. I'm thinking it's a body in the back. I look in the back. He got a whole half a goat back there, just dead in the back seat of the car. Yeah, boy, I done hit the whole lick. Yeah, they got this whole goat right here. We break this thing down. It's about $17.50. I was like, you chopping this goat up like dope? Oh, you don't know how to get no money. Come on, let's cut. I'm like, he gutting and cutting this goat in the back of his truck. Bro, I was like, Ali, bro, like, oh, you scared of blood? And I know how to work with a knife. He's never been to the penitentiary, dog. Like, people ain't seen it. Like, bro, like his bit about Mexican got on boots when he recorded it that night, and then the mushroom story. We out really living his life in LA. Yeah. Like Ali, man, like even everything that I've ever been through, man, like he's always been there. Yeah. He's seen me.
Absolutely.
So these are people that you've been in contact with. That, like, I always say, man, never discount where you from. When I was coming up, it was, you had to be from New York. You had to be from L.A. You had to be from Atlanta. You had to be from Chicago. Nah. Houston. Houston now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You ever think about, like, your experience and, your longevity in the game and your lot as far as like where you are? You've been doing this for what? How many years now?
22.
You've been doing it 22 years. The average comic, from what I understand, it takes about 20 years before they hit not stardom but superstardom. Mm-hmm. It takes about 20 years. Do you feel like you're right there on the cusp of that, or do you even want that? Do you care about that?
You know what I care about more than anything? I care that when I'm gone from this place, that people can say my name or remember a story or a part of my life, and it helps get them through what they're experiencing. There are people who make money, who are famous, who would never have a real impact on changing the trajectory of anybody's life. This is not my arrogance, my ego, or a level of narcissism, because truly, you can't take none of this with you. You got to leave it. Everything. Leave it all. Leave it there. That's why I was excited to do this. I want to leave as much as I can with you. Not morbidly, but understanding the fragility of life. Bro, I've achieved enough for me. I'm focused now on my sons, my daughters, my new wife. I want to, like, I'm at peace. Now, I just want to give. Hey, my fathers were coaches. I never thought that I would start having that impact on people, to start trying to change their life. That people, my podcast, Did You Miss Me podcast that I did with, and two of my brothers, 200 episodes of just stories of our life, documented, cemented there. I've got 14 comedy albums, independently produced and done. 2 produced, one by Kevin Hart for LOL Network. You can watch that. That's on Tubi. That's on Amazon Prime. And another one that I just did with Comedy Dynamics. I'm thankful. I just did this special in LA. They put $200,000 into it. And this is after everything that I've experienced in my last couple years, which was, some people would say, would be the hardest or the worst. But I'm like, no, this didn't happen to me. This happened for me. I because of the way that I was groomed and trained, the way Ali pushed me in my whole circle, Willie, and all the guys here, talk about your life. Share it. The prior rule, tell the truth. The funny is going to follow it. If you're not going to be funny, just be interesting. Be daring enough to lay all of your cards on the table. Let people decide. Like, I don't have no equivocations about my life. No, man, you can't validate me. Rest in peace, Jim Brown. One of the most prolific quotes that he lived by was that I don't live for the validation of one man or a body of men. My only hope is that I meet the approval of my creator. You can't validate or invalidate me. No one can. When he walked away from the NFL in the 60s to pursue his career, and they call him stupid. Look at the impact he had. So I understand what the position is. I understood and have understood for some time now what my role is. You know, I see DC Young Fly going through a hard moment, a defining moment. But this is the moment that's going to be the biggest moment of his life. It all came down to this moment, how he handles and responds to this. Rest in peace, Jackie. My ex-wife and Jackie, we came into Wildin' Out at the same time. Like, I've worked with and met everybody that I needed or wanted to. Just even sit here, bro, like, with you. You know what I'm saying? To know the people that I know now, from where I started from, I'm humbled to think that I would get here. Like, seeing what's going on with Fly, bro, it's a defining moment. When I lost my dad, it was a defining moment. When I went through my divorce, it was a defining moment. It was bigger than the achievements. It's like, how do you stumble and what you gonna do now? It's the get up part. And when I started realizing God hit way harder than I do, your hand's hard, you box, you fight, so you used to this. This where you think it's at. Nah, it ain't. I ain't saying be a punk. I ain't saying not stand up for what you believe in. But certain things ain't your fight. Most things aren't your fight. It's only you fighting against your own inhibitions that are stopping you from your purpose, G. That's it. That's your fight. It's not physical. Not defend yourself. That's for the dummies out here. Oh, he saying don't fight. He being soft. No, nigga. I'm sorry. I had to use the last one. Can I put that in?
But you use that in the proper context.
Yes.
You know.
but properly understood, it's like the fight is against your own desires, against your direction and your purpose, bruh. That's the fight. Easy I could go put my hands on somebody. Easy I can go say, oh, you trying to stop me, so I got to focus on you. Then I'm missing everything else.
You do a lot of fighting, at least verbal fighting on social media, especially on Instagram, man. You be going off on Instagram.
I would like to say that I've put those things. Bro, I did. I mean, because I'm not just a confrontational person. I don't operate well in the gray.
Okay.
See, some people thrive in the gray. I'm
you
black
got no
and
problem
white.
picking a side.
Ain't nothing wrong with standing. I'm black and white. What is it? Where we at with it? You tell me where the black and white is, because there's rules to that. Fine. I do good in court. I do good in an athletic space, a sport, a game. There's rules to this. What can't I do? All right, cool. Some people thrive in the gray to use their emotions and they place of manipulation to move what that is. Nah, fam. Just what is it? I got further with that through school. I didn't have a bunch of high school sweethearts and stuff like that. I was traumatized, fam. I was just like, hey, look, I don't want a woman. I just want to be able to see you, talk to you, dope. And it got me further. It wasn't until I started really opening up and being vulnerable that I started feeling like the need to want to not be transparent and honest because I fear of hurting somebody because I didn't understand the things that were happening that I was experiencing, or I could not stand behind some of the actions that made sense to verbally communicate them. And that was my cowardice. And just because you can do something don't mean that you should. I made a lot of mistakes by doing things just because I thought I could do it. Just because the black and white says you can do that don't mean you should.
You can say that louder for the people in the back.
Just because you can do something don't mean that you should.
Yeah, it's people every day. I spend a lot of time on social media too. But it's people every day that love to say, well, don't judge, and this person should be able to do this, and he ain't hurt nobody, and da. But a lot of these acts that we see are classless. A lot of people, you see people out here just, it's like dignity is like gone. Like just because you can spit on the ground don't mean you should if somebody walking right behind you. Just because you can spit on the sidewalk, you can. It's not illegal to spit on the sidewalk, but is it necessary and is it couth? You know, is it tactful? Is it something that warrants dignity? You know, and I see a lot of that happening. People just that little word called dignity, man. It's like people don't really care about that these days.
I mean, I tell people, I'm gonna say this: the magic word for everything is love. The key. Should how do you use love when there's hate? And for example, let's say you're accosted by a Karen. You're just in your neighborhood and you're outside in your front lawn. You're on your front lawn just, I don't know, just standing around. Perhaps you ain't doing nothing else. You ain't got to be smoking a cigarette or nothing. Just standing around on your lawn. A Karen walks up and say, "Do you live here?" You know, how do you show love with such an apparent act of, racism? You started the interview off with the answer to that, and it's just because they ask you a question, you don't mean you got to answer it. We sometimes, and this is again Calvin Sorrells, my grandfather. I'm not gonna do the voice just because of the nature of the tone of importance. I don't want that to get lost. But he said, "Son, you got to learn to stop allowing people to invite you to their bullshit." You seen somebody standing in the street, dog shit all around, stomping in it, right? Are you compelled or feel in the need to go jump in it with them? Would you?
Is that a question to me?
Yeah.
No, I'm going around. I'm going the opposite way.
Right. Okay. So if that's the case, when you see somebody stomping in some shit, just because they yell your name out, why you can go jump in it with them?
Why not just, like, if she comes into your yard, that's your property. Why not just drop kick her?
I mean, you know, the thought process in that is, if you need to defend your territory and your property, if you feel threatened, you do what you need to do. That is for the love of your safety and those things around you. But one of the greatest fighters, Bruce Lee, was smart enough to explain there's an art of fighting without fighting. You win 100% of the battles that you don't fight. Just because you can don't mean that you do.
Yeah,
Remember, these are things like we just have to make a choice as to why we want to give that response. And it's a predisposition. There's trauma. There's something that happened to you or for you that we still are handling like it's happening to you. I can't speak to what you had to go through ahead of me. I can only imagine how difficult that was or what that was like. I'm thankful that I didn't have to have all of those experiences, that I could sit across from you and I can know from what you've put in your art and the way that you've lived your life that you didn't let all of those experiences traumatically change who you are. So at this point, we have to choose what experiences are we going to allow us to change who we're supposed to be in operating toward our purpose. And it goes back to 9 times out of 10, why she's there, it's a personal problem. We like to personalize shit. Oh, they came at me and it's that woman got some other issues. That person has some inner issues that if you went through and sat down with a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist or a therapist or a medical professional, you will get to unraveling why that is a need for her. Nothing to do with you.
Well, Billy Sorrells, I am glad that you took time to sit down with me, man, and share a little bit of insight about your plight, your journey. I'm sure somebody's going to be helped by this, man, because you dropped a lot of heat in this one. And we definitely got to come back and do it again, man. But, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything that you've contributed to comedy. Like I say, I'm a comedy connoisseur. I know comedy. And
Thank you, bro.
You got it, man. And I'm glad that Ali rode you. I didn't know he was that brutal, but I'm glad that he convinced you to walk in your purpose, man. We appreciate you, man.
Well, before you close this thing out,
Come now.
remember I told you,
Right.
this card is going to get flipped over.
Flip the card.
I'm about to. I'm going to start to flip the card with a last space of decisions and mistakes that I made. My podcast, Did You Miss Me podcast, I got it tatted on my arm. And I ain't just going to say mine. Hour that I started with my friends, with my brothers. Shout out to Ernest Crosby. Shout out to Jonathan Simon. Shout out to D-Lay. Shout out to Kevin Damn-Fool Simpson. Big shouts out to all of our family, extended brothers and sisters over there at the 85 South Show. My boy Chad, Ubre, Carlos, Chico, DC, man. You know, shout out to Ronnie Jordan over there at More Than Culture, Tyler Chronicles, Remo, Genius. The people that helped me shape and form my podcast. When I went through my divorce, and there's so many different layers, we ain't got time to go through all of it. But we fell out. D-Lay and I fell out. And looking back at it, on both sides, but I can only speak for myself, I allowed myself to feel that things were happening to me as a victim and to take a reactionary space that wasn't in love, that wasn't in goodwill. And I was asleep at the wheel mentally, missing the big opportunity in the big moment of not about money, not about fame. I strayed away and took, as a leader, a lot of people away from the direction that my purpose was for. Remember what I said, your gift, what you do, what I do, we got it given to us. It affords us our life and our lifestyle. Our purpose is how that impacts people. And when God allows and he gives and he brings you to your brothers, he brings you to your family that you start stuff with, that you create things with, it's the multiverse of love, Willie. If it was real love, it's always love. So when I flip this card over and I say, face your brother, bro. So you thought I was here for all of them. Nah. I'm here for you. I'm here for you to tell you and tell you again. Y'all brothers, bro. You guys made something that's bigger than you now. And I'll tell you one thing. We overzealous to even think that we made it or you made it. God gave you all that. You splitting up, y'all splitting up things and taking people in a place emotionally that might be the only real sense of brotherhood that they have or know. I need and I implore nothing else I said on this podcast today is more important than you getting your brother back in his seat.
Yeah, man.
Listen to me. Now, listen.
Yeah. So
let me finish, bro.
I'll let you.
I'm gonna say the last thing.
Better wrap that shit up right now.
I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna say this, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this bigger than a podcast, bro. No matter what them folk or anybody else is, this me.
But you know this Willie D Live, right? This ain't Ghetto Boys.
Listen. I understand that, Willie. I'm explaining to you.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, this is my podcast. It's not a Ghetto Boys podcast.
I understand that. What I'm saying to you is the space. You represent something. You stand for something. Y'all stand for something. Bro, it ain't about no followers for me. This me really telling you on some real G shit. Like, y'all brothers, bro. And hopefully, y'all can find y'all way back to a space. Fuck the podcast. It ain't about that. Y'all brothers, man.
Yeah. You know. Let me say this, bro.
I'm open book. You can ask me or say anything.
Let me say this, bro. sometimes with family, you just can't motherfucking work certain things out. Certain things just can't be worked out. Like you say, you're gonna be brothers. I mean, it's like you brothers for life no matter what. But some certain times you need a break. And that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I respect that.
You got to take a break, sometimes.
I respect
and that's
that.
all it is, too. It's going to be, it's going to be family for life. But, sometimes you just got to take a break.
And you know what? Here's the thing. Based off of what I've experienced and what I've seen, there's nothing wrong with parting ways or splitting things. But I always offer the road of, if there's love there, if there's a space there. Like, I'm going through the same shit. Like, they're my brothers. And I've patched it up and gotten things in a better place with everybody.
Yeah, you got to do what makes you sleep good, though.
Yeah, and you gotta find your peace, and you gotta find your peace. If it sets you on a pathway of discourse where you don't have your personal peace,
yeah, you got to do what makes you sleep good.
I respect that. That honestly. And if you say that word peace, if it's your peace that's not there, then nobody's worth that. If it's your true peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've loved some people in my life, bro. People that I'm not with. But peace for everybody involved. Most importantly, peace for myself. It's most important. And I never question a man when he says, it's about my peace.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Love you.
Billy Sorrells. Appreciate you, man. No more talk.